again, and we are the inventors of the ambient light rejection 15 of the color coding technology, or actually coding technology that we developed, and also Tube Supreme. As you can see at the top, the 1 gallon of the blue are officially depleted. There's no more left of them. That went pretty quick. Usually the gallons always go fast because, like I said, companies and other people buy them up basically for doing much larger screens or multiple screens. So that is gone. As for when I explained to you that there was a limited amount, there's not affinity in the shopping carts. In the shopping carts under blue, there's only 50 per cart. So the gallons are gone. So as I said before, if you don't have a pre-order, you can't buy. So right now we're going to be doing some testing on the blue, but just put that update in real quick. If you go to the website, try to get the gallon sizes, you can't get them. They're gone. I knew that was going to happen because usually they go fast. They're the ones that actually people use them for, like I said, multiple applications. So we got 1 quart and 2 quarts left. And like I said, some people think there's going to be 2,000, 4,000. No, it's 50 per shopping cart. That's it. We have to make sure we have enough for our customers and enough for a couple of companies have already acquired about larger shipments for the blue technology. This will be another one that when we load it up, when it's gone, it's gone. So we're getting ready to start the low lumen demonstrations today, and distance on it. I have to bring out a Panasonic projector at 1500 lumens and start doing the test on this right here. Okay, I'm going to use the Sony VPL CS on this one. Do I have anything here to run? Got a hoodie on because in the morning I don't run my heat downstairs. I only run it upstairs because that's where I'm at. It's a little chilly down here until the heat kicks in. Down here. Alright, we'll use this, and I don't need an adapter for that because this is all freaking adapter. We don't need that. And that right there. So this is our end, this is our solution to the gray screen problem. The reason why I call it the gray screen problem is because a lot of the gray screens out here we see, whether people like it or not, how we feel about it, are just made from cheap paints. And that's why they're those nasty results. That's why they come out looking so dirty and so dim. So what we decided to do is, like I said, I had no interest in designing a gray screen at all whatsoever. But like I said, after seeing other people's products that are using just everyday household paint, people shouldn't be subjected to that kind of stuff. So this is where we came up with this technology. All the gray screen paints I've seen so far, they're not even doing any of the demonstrations we're doing right now. We just already did the test to see how the screen stacks up against other high performance screens, which we tested against some of the lighter screens, which is the Seymour AV 1.3. It was tested against the Cinema Gray by Elite Screens, the Parallax, their light gray screen, which I think is something like a 3.0 or something like that. It's one of those. We tested against the DMP Supernova Blade. And also too, it was just for the kicks of it all, just a Crow's personal mix. And then we put his UV mix up there, which the screen actually dominated both of those at the same time, and contrast and light levels. So that's why I said, after seeing how a lot of these products are made with just everyday household paint, they're just slapped together with black and white paint. There's just no excuse for it. So this is what this technology is designed to do. Its main job is just to obsolete everything else. And it's like I said, we're only at 1% right now. It still had one upgrade to it, which we made a darker version of it, which I'll show you that one if you haven't seen the darker version of it. That is going to be a free option on you when the paint finally becomes available for sale. That will be one of the free options in that technology that you will have a choice whether you want the darker version or whether you want the lighter version. Now keep in mind the darker version does produce an amazing contrast, a little higher than the lighter version, but the white level still maintained the same way, which I find quite impressive on the technology. Now, keep in mind, this has two ways of being used. It is a front and rear technology, which means if you want to roll it on, you can roll it on to it's very thin liquid, which I was quite surprised because usually when we deal with thin liquid, they have to be sprayed on you because you will streak the daylights out of the screen. This stuff in particular was very interesting because this was actually rolled on. This is not a spray job, it was rolled onto the screen, which it left no streak marks whatsoever. So it gives a person the option if they want to use a paint sprayer or not. But if you're going to be using this for rear projection, we do strongly advise that you use a paint sprayer with that. I will go with the Wagner 250. It's a cheap sprayer, about 60 bucks. And it'll do the job. As a matter of fact, I will be doing a spray on demonstration as soon as my plexiglass gets here. And that's what I'm waiting for. Because like I said, the technology has two different forms of ways you can use it. So right now we're going to fire up the Sony projector so we can see how low we can go on lumen counts. I think I would keep it at 1,000 lumens. We probably can go much lower than that, but I would keep it fair at 1,000 lumens. I'm curious. I might bring a Pico projector down. I got a 200 lumen Pico projector, which I'm kind of curious because it should pull up. Oh, we got to do the we have to do the generic projector. Generic projectors are going to show up on this thing with no problem whatsoever. So if you do have a generic projector, yeah, there you go. And it's not going to have a problem bringing it up. As a matter of fact, let me go. I forgot. All my projectors are in the basement now. So now I got to the basement instead because the upstairs is the Japanese TV. Grab that one too. Let me see. I'm trying to find my generic projector. That's what I'm looking for right now. We'll use that one, the ViewSonic. We have Panasonic at 1,500 lumens. And that one for test today. I need to find my generic projector. Where's my stuff? Here, I found it. Okie dokie. So we're going to test it also too on the knockoff. So this is a knockoff right here. This is what it is. Trust me, it came like that. When I bought it, there was something right on inside of it. I don't know what it is. Probably a piece of plastic or something, I don't know, but it's not affecting the projector at all. And for those of you who may have a 1080p high performance projector for low lumens, I'm using this one today also. Right here. I haven't used that one in a while either. Alright, let's fire this up. Now our tests are done strictly live. So basically, for documentation of every test we do, it has to be done live. Here's the remote control to this one. in the room for this. This needs to be, this is for documentation only. If this was involving a company, this would be marked private. We don't involve, we don't do live demonstrations when it comes to companies when we're doing business with them. 1,000 lumens, not bad. Well, let me see what we got here. I need the whatchamacallit too. Need that, I need measuring tape. I need a sample sheets too. I need to see 1,000 lumens, how far we would be back. You click here. I still need measuring tape here. We lost the measuring tape again. I need this, and I need the remote control for this right here. This is remote control, so we can start this off with something. That's going to go into screensaver mode. For the time being. Excellent. 1,000 lumens. That's it. Well, at least in the bottom line is that low lumens are not going to have a problem with it. So generics are going to be a breeze. So here we are. There is the projector right there we're using. That's the image we're pulling up at 1,000 lumens. Okay. Let me get the, let me see. Track of the remote control so we don't lose it. It's not bad. Let's get something else on here. Let me see. I'm telling you, working with this projector that don't have. Let me bring the other one up, because we have to do both of them at the same time. So, this is the darker version. This right here is the darker version of the technology that was altered just a little bit to bring the contrast levels up on it. We probably might do a half and half today on the screen, so we can test both of them at the same time to see how they react. So that's the darker version of it. As I said before, we're going to have two of them in the shopping cart. One's going to be a little darker, and the other one's going to be, who's talking about whatchamacallit? Let's see, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, whatever. Goodbye. Keep in mind, we've already done these tests already. I love it how we do all these tests on our technology. We test our product against primer, which we've already done. We tested our screens against black screen paint, which we've already done. And still they come and complain. You know why they complain? Because we found out that the other individual had a video that he was displaying how to make his product. And we were able to make the exact same product. And it matched a product that he was selling. And that's what they're upset about. Now, like I said, that was him on the video, so can't complain about that. But if my product, I've been in business for 10 years. If my product matched anything from Home Depot, I wouldn't be in business this long. In my PayPal account is an outstanding. So yeah. Compared to someone who is basically making a product and selling it. And they're also mad because this right here is now obsoleting all gray screen paints. So that's the darker version of it. This right here is the lighter version of it. That's what they're mad about. We did that demonstration where we basically wiped both of the screens out at the same time. And they didn't like that. But keep in mind, there were other high performance screens up there also. Just gonna have to basically figure out ways to make a better product. That's what you're gonna have to do. You're gonna have to work harder. That's all to it. That's the problem. They want to make these cheap black and white screen paints. They want to throw them in a dark environment. They don't want to do any real testing at all. Hit them with high-powered projectors. And then when somebody comes in and does a better job, they get mad and they want to call them this and call them that. Well, guess what? Now you're going to have to work harder because now we're actually in your backyard taking your technology and we're advancing it, making it better than what it is. Now you're going to have to work harder. You're going to have to follow the same tests we do. I don't understand. If we do these tests, how come you can't do these tests? What is the problem? There you go. Like I said, if you made the same product, then I expect to see my product that you have made, and I expect to see all 30 tests completed at 100%. If not, you don't have enough time to talk to you. It's like when Mr. You-know-who called himself making our product. Where are the 30 tests that follow under my technology? Oh, you haven't done any of them, then you don't have my product. Don't worry. In about 3 months' time, all your stuff will be obsolete in no time at all. This screen paint right here we're developing right here has about 4 different shades of it that we can actually develop with it. So that's pretty good. Okay, 1,000 lumens there. We have the generic knockoff picture. I love it when the Crowboys come and put their 2 cents in. None of them put their 2 cents in when we were showing him how he showed us how to make his own product. Okay, let's get something else in here. I like these demonstrations, but I need something with a little bit more color, more bump to it. Let's see what we got here. Here we go. I like this. That's better. And I have yet to see anybody. Matter of fact, I have to go check that demonstration today. The Sun Killer, that screen that took that direct hit from the sun, that was a challenge to everybody. Not just the hobbyists, to everybody. I want to see how many people place links of matching that screen on the bottom of that page. We'll check that out today. I doubt too many screens will be to sit out in the sun and smile back at you. When we have that technology? I'm curious. If we put that, keep in mind, we put that challenge out to everybody. Black Diamond, Screen Innovation, DMP Supernova, whatever company you are, challenge the same demonstration we just did. I want to see your screen outside taking a direct hit from sunlight and producing an image. If you can't do that, then you're not on our level. So I'm gonna log into my PC right now, see how many people hit that challenge. But we gave them 2 days to do it, so it should be done by now. Somebody should have a link at the bottom somewhere showing off that they actually did the challenge. So while that's running, I'm going to check on my computer right now. See how many people actually went in and did that demonstration that we asked for. Let's see. How many people completed the challenge? No? Move with me? Move with me. Here we go. And keep in mind, all the screens that were laying up against this technology were lighter than this technology, and it still produced a higher white level. Samsung 4K demonstrations. Oh, beautiful dogs. Always a fully lit environment, you notice. Anytime anybody does demonstrations, they're always in the dark. And one of the things I don't like when I watch these demonstrations on these gray screen paints is the backgrounds are always dark. The background's supposed to be well lit. You should be seeing all the corners and the environment. Here it's supposed to be nice and bright. The screen is supposed to show an image. And mind you, this screen only does, this projector only do 4.3. So from corner to corner, should be no fading in the corners at all. Colors should be bright, and beautiful, and vivid. All right, let's see what we got here. Come on. Open it up. Let's see this. Just a little keep your little controls where they need to be seen. So we're on 600 by 800, 720p at around 1,000 lumens in a fully lit environment. Let's see. Goodbye. Don't get mad because Beta Lana is we out your buddy as a scammer. He was selling a product that he made for free and he deleted the video, which makes him guilty. But if you feel that you can basically match our technology, you should have no problem doing a demonstration and producing that sun killer outside. If our technology is so fake, then that demonstration in direct sunlight, do the demonstration. I'll give you 2 days. Post it at the bottom of the video. We'll be waiting. You can mimic ourselves. Mimic one of the most complicated demonstrations we ever did. I want to see a demonstration of you producing a screen paint in direct sunlight. Or an image in direct sunlight. That page is still blank. Matter of fact, we have a challenge for, in 2019, it was a challenge called the Ultimate 1100 Lumen Challenge. It's still empty. It's never been matched. So if our technology is so easy to mimic, you would have no problem passing any of the challenges that we put out. Well, like I said, all you got to do, you want to call me fake, just do the demonstration and put it at the bottom. That's all you got to do. You want to call me fake and you want to call me this, that, and the other, just do the demonstration. That's all I'm asking you to do. Oh, you can't? Why not? Oh, you can't figure how it's done? Okay, there you go. I expect if you can do it, we have matter of fact, we have 3 of them. There's a 50 lumen challenge outside too also. So either one of those you can do with no problem. Just do the demonstration, that's all. If we're fake, that means you can mimic our demonstrations. But meanwhile, face the fact that your gray fake green screen paints that y'all have been doing such a poor job on, this is going to put it into it. Tired of these poorly lit environments and fake demonstrations, and ugh, like I said, we had no interest in designing a gray screen paint. But after seeing that nonsense of somebody basically scamming people by mixing black and gray paint, matter of fact, I made the product myself and put it right up there. It matched perfectly. So if you're doing stuff on that level, then we need to come in and change it. Because you give a black eye to anybody who basically takes this profession seriously. You are a stain to home theater projection, and you need to be removed. So this technology here is designed to obsolete your stuff. And we already seen it yesterday because Crow's personal mix and his UV mix got wiped out in one hit. Feel free to go back and check out the video. The screen produced a higher white level, and his product is quite lighter than ours. And then when it came to contrast, still took his screen out. And as for the UV mix, it made it like a black spot on the middle of the screen. It's time for y'all to go. That's all to it. Don't get mad about it. Look, the bottom line at the end of the day, do not get mad about it. What you need to do is work harder and make a better product. That's what you need to do. That's all. Work harder, make a better product. Stop taking the shortcut. And that black and white paint, as I said before, that's YouTube paint. People were doing that for years. Years of YouTube paint. You go look it up. It's called YouTube paint. That's what it was. That's what it is. YouTube paint. If you don't believe me, do you want me to dig this video up so you can watch it yourself? If I'm mixing the paint together. All right then. No excuse for making a screen paint. It doesn't make any sense. So I'm gonna have to come and do a better job for you. And I'm pretty sure my customers would want a better quality screen paint than something that's going to look like they're going to invest time and money on somebody's product that they could have made at Home Depot for 40 bucks a gallon. And people spend money on their home theater setups. They want a good investment. They want something that's going to look good on their screens. That's why y'all can't match any of our demonstrations. And you don't want to get mad at me because I do my job correctly. No, what it is you're mad at about, your free ride is over. You just have to work a little harder, that's all. Should have been doing it to begin with. No excuse for it. Oh, just sit back and watch your stuff get destroyed. That's all. That's all you can do. No, I'm deleting your comments. If you come in here and you want to carry on and act up and call me scammer and call me fake and all of the nonsense and I have no proof to back it up, yeah, you're going to be removed. That's just basic common sense. Where is she going to be removed? Why would I keep you in here? You got nothing but criticism and you want to carry on and act up, then why would I keep you in here to begin with? All right? If you act like you got some common sense and you come into my channel, then you can stay. But, as I said before, you know, you want to cast ridicule and call everybody a fake and scammer, and that's what you want to call them. I'm glad I had you running your mouth because I've been wanting to ask you for the longest time, why is he doing this? So let's go first. I wanted to check out my challenge that I put out here for you guys. Let's see. We gave you a challenge to complete. Let's see if you put any links at the bottom of this video. If you claim that you can do the same thing we can do. As a matter of fact, maybe you can do that blue technology behind us too. I'd like to see that one being developed. So those of you who don't know what the sun killer is, it's a gain that we are working on. We're testing the gain. We're designing our own gain. And one of the tests the screen had to go through, or the chemical had to go through, was a direct hit from the sun. And it took it with no problem at 1%. And yet we put a challenge on it, and no one has done the challenge yet. So I will show you. Oh, there's another one we did outside. Another one outside right there. Okay, let me show you this. This is what they don't do. This is what we ask them to do, and they can't do it. Well, if everyone's calling, it's funny. You're saying everybody's calling me a fake, but yet all my demonstrations are live. Every last one of them. But you're calling me a fake, and I can show you tons of demonstrations of my technology outside working with no problem whatsoever, and they're all done live. So ask you this question: how do you fake a live demonstration? You can't. So that's the thing. It's nothing but jealousy, and it's not everybody calling me a fake. If that's the case, I wouldn't have any business. My table's gonna be stacked this Friday. Orders again. When I got demonstrations of your buddy making a product and we making the same product. As a matter of fact, I matched this UP mix to primer. And then I turned around and I painted my own technology with it, and it didn't even match. So how do you explain that? How do you explain the fact that the minute we post the video, he deleted the video? You can't find it anywhere. Why would you delete a video if it had nothing to do with your product? There you go. There's your challenge right there. We requested. That's the screen we call a chemical we're designing. We nicknamed the sun killer because it can take a direct hit from sun. Now, see the outside of that screen? That's to show you how much light is pushing through that screen. But I'm going to show you something right here. This is a challenge we gave them. If you think you're as good as our technology, then you pull off that image. The projector is on the inside. The screen is on the outside of the house. Oh, you can't do that demonstration, can you? I wonder why. There you go. See all that sunlight hitting the side of my house? That's the kind of work we do. There's no one right now who has a screen that can take a direct hit from the sun. Look at there, look at Mr. Sun right there. There is so much light out there, even the camera is struggling. No, it's not a screen paint. It's a game. We're designing our own chemical game that can heighten the screen and make it brighter than what it is. But it will be engineered into our new technology. See, in 2021, we're in the process of basically designing our own projection screens. So the blue technology, the one we're displaying, that has that coding technology, allows the projector to see color. That's why the screen's blue. So you can see the full effect of the screen. That coding technology is going to be embedded into this gain right here. So imagine if you have a screen that can read the projector's code or projector's color without basically going into calibrating your projector. And you have another end of that technology that has the ability to pull a gain so high that it can take a direct hit from the sun. You put those two together, you have the ultimate projection screen. And that's what we're building. And that was a challenge we put at the bottom that is awesome. It's still clear. Oh, but everyone's calling me a fake, huh? None of your where's your links at? We gave you a 2-day challenge. There's no links at the bottom of this. Where are they? You can't do it. Screen outside, the sun washes out, it's gone. Okay, there you go. There you go. You know how hard it is, the demonstration we're doing there? Because the projector is on the opposite side. So it's traveling 6 feet, hitting the screen, a piece of glass, pushing through glass, hitting the back of the screen, and then pushing the image out while the sunlight is pushing light into the screen at the same time and still maintaining an image. You know how hard that is to do? Yeah, okay. Well, here's the bottom line. Until you complete this challenge, until I see a link of you doing the exact same thing I did, don't come in here wasting my time with your dumb nonsense. Because you can't do it, but we can. Now, let me show you something real quick. Sensei, this is the reason why we're changing the game when it comes to gray screen paints. I'll tell you why. Because of stuff like this. You tell me. Who's that on that videotape? This video is deleted. You can't find it. Well, Crow Boys, come on. You want to come into my channel, call me a fake, call me a scammer. You tell me. Where do you buy those products at? Oh, you never saw this video. You know why? Because the video was deleted. That's why you never saw it. Somebody sent this to me and said, hey, look, you might want to check this out. And when I saw this video, I saw him making free paint. See, what you don't know about Crow, and I do know about Crow, is the fact that way back, he used to give this product away for free. Did you know that? And then eventually, somewhere along the line, he started selling it. Like I said before, it would have been different if the product was completely different and had nothing to do with any of the new stuff he makes now. But it matched perfectly to a personal mix. So I just went in my kitchen, I just followed his tutorial video and made it myself. Oh, but you can't say, well, you basically made the product yourself, because I didn't. I watched his tutorial and I made it myself. There's his personal, that old sample sheet that we have. And it's funny how every time we try to place an order through him, he cancels every last order. We're giving him money and he cancels every last order. 3 orders we requested: Frankenstein mix, the HD cinema, and a personal mix that we requested. He canceled all 3 orders. Oh, but wait a minute. He said he doesn't do business with scammers, but yet we have his product in paints over here when we ordered back then, and they were shipped to a post office box. So how do you explain this right here? This is his product we made, painted onto the screen. And this right here would be his personal mix laying against the screen. And we've done this in multiple demonstrations. Oh, we're not coming in anymore now. Now we're not saying the scammer, you're not calling me a fake anymore, because you never saw this video, did you? Yeah, go back and try to find it on his channel. It's not there anymore. If it had nothing to do with his product, there would be no need for him to delete the video. You know how many people saw that video? 27,000 people saw that video. Which means out of that 27,000, I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one who figured it out. So you guys who came in and bought his product, you just paid $104 for a quart of paint that would have cost you $40 to make a gallon of it. I would think real carefully before you start calling somebody a scammer and a fake. When we clearly have a video of him making the product. The video does no longer exist because he pulled the video and it matched perfectly to his personal mix. I'll put that video at the bottom of the link because you want to check it out. Boom, there you go. Matched perfectly. What was that about going to Home Depot or Lowe's and making a product? You made that comment to me just a few minutes ago. Now, because for some strange reason that, because I delete your comments, that they're gone for good. They're not. I actually record my recordings. I have a second cell phone, so I actually record my recordings. We post those onto another site. You guys get a little popular over there. And then we show these videos on that site of the person that you support. That's the reason why we decided to step in the game and make a better product than Mr. You-know-who wants to make this fake product and scam people. Hey, the video, look, buddy, the video is right there. What you mad about? The video is right there. It's right there. What are you arguing about? It's him on the video. Who else would be on the video? Are you going to say basically he was cloned or alien abduction, or you're going to say that maybe that the video was fake? No, that's him on the video. And if you don't believe that's true, that the video, bottom line, if he wasn't guilty, why delete the video? Go find it. Let's keep going. There you go. There's the screen right in the middle. Disappeared right into it. I think it hurts more that the fact that you just got scammed out of $104, that you will never ever get your money back. And that the very fact that if you had this screen on your wall, you could have made it for free and you would have got shipping for free because you would have been able to go pick it up. That's the reason why we are developing this technology right here to put an end to this scamming nonsense that's going on all over the internet with you guys doing these fake demonstrations with gray screen paint and you're not doing the job correctly. So we feel the need to come and do the job for you. And if you have a product, I'll bring it over here and I'll test it against this technology. But hopefully you don't do what he just did and cancel the orders. Yeah, personal mix. I can make 5 gallons of it now and stick it in my basement. Not pay a dime for it. This is where we went in and tried to order his product multiple times. And in multiple times, he canceled out the orders. Now, why would you cancel an order? See all this. And get this away from here. A minute. There we go. I need to minimize that because we need to get this out of the way because we don't need to see. Let's go to my purchase history. Let's go to my purchase history, where keep in mind that he can go to our website anytime he wants to and he can place an order and we're not going to block him. So let me show you right here. Canceled orders right here. We ordered on this date, which was supposed to be the Cinemac HD Cinemac or HD Cinema paint. The order was canceled. We ordered again on the 23rd. Order was canceled. We ordered a second time on the 23rd. Order was canceled. You know why he canceled the order? Because when he found out that we figured out that he was just mixing black and white paint together, he figured that we would come over here and do some kind of test and his product would come up as a fake. So let me get this straight. So all this time, he was on here preaching about how amazing his personal mix was and how it had all these capabilities and to work with your projector to give you the best picture image of all time. And at the end of the day, you just paid $104 for black and white paint. Do you ever wonder why he doesn't do any of the crazy demonstrations we do, throwing projectors back at 20 feet, having projectors outside in all forms of ambient light? He doesn't do any of those demonstrations, testing the screens against high performance sample sheets. When he tests his product against sample sheets, he will pick the videos and he will pick the certain sample sheets that basically will not show his product up too well. He will pick things that are comfortable for his environment. You know, when we ordered this paint, you know the emails we got from him? He was giving us instructions and telling us the product is not ambient light rejection and how it should be used properly, which means he was giving us detailed instructions on to put our environment to make it like his environment to make the screen look good. We don't do that over here. But that's what you paid for. You just paid $104 for Lowe's paint. That's where that stuff came from Lowe's. That's what you paid for. So yeah, this is the reason why we bring our technology out now. This is why we are actually putting our hat in the ring when it comes to gray screen paints now, because we could do a better job. I think customers deserve to have what they paid for. This is why my screen looks like this on a 720p projector in a fully lit environment, not sitting in the dark. And keep in mind, they still got to pass the outside demonstrations of 13 feet back. And black silvers can do that. Our gray black silver can pull an image outside at 13 feet back and pull a star field demonstration high enough to blow out a DMP supernova and even a dark star 9. Look at that. Can you believe that was 720p? Not much. See, I see. At the end of the day, when we show them, when we get the crow boys that come in here and they start carrying on, they want to call me scammer. They want to call me fake, all these other nasty names. We show them what we know. Now they're quiet. Because they probably bought the screen paint and now they're probably thinking like, what did I just pay for? $720p, an outdated projector. Like I said, if you're going to run your mouth about our technology, at least do the challenges. And like I said, the sun killer, I want to see that demonstration done. I'll give you another 2. Matter of fact, I'll give you a whole solid week. In a week's time, we will come back and we'll check again and see exactly if anyone posted their links on challenging the screen. If you want, I'll give you a month. Because I know right now you're probably taking your product outside and it's washing out and you're probably thinking, dang, going in, what the freak? Yeah, I know. I know you're going through it. Would you believe that was 720p? So anyway, getting back to business. Because every once in a while, like mind you, I'll talk about my technology. Anytime we bring out something new, they're the first ones to come in and start complaining about this, that, and the other. But now since we have those demonstrations right there of showing that clearly this fellow was actually scamming a lot of people, now all that nonsense of them running their mouths about this, that, and the other comes to a halt. Because they can't question what they just saw. And if they go back and try and find the video is no longer there. It was deleted. So why would you delete something that's not true? If this product is different from what he saw in the video, you would have no need to delete the video at all. The reason why the video was deleted, because I told you, we used to develop gray screen paints. When I first started off, that's what I started with, gray screen paints. And I know what they do. I know that when they mix that white and black together, it's basically, if you add in more, you get a darker screen. If you add in less, you get a lighter screen. And then if you vice versa, like I showed you in the video, what they'll do is they'll take black paint and it'll add in more white paint, vice versa. Like instead of putting in 2 tablespoons into white paint, they'll turn around and take 2 tablespoons of white paint and put it in the black paint. Yeah, I showed you that right there in the video. I was mixing different blends up and showing you, look, that color, that color, that color, that color, that color. I didn't hit every last color. All it is. The white is just the base and the black is basically controls the tone back and forth. That's it. Now, I can tell you how we made digital and crystal screen paint because we don't make that stuff anymore. That stuff couldn't even hold a candle to this stuff right here that we're making now. That basically what most of them do is they'll take a couple of teaspoons of black paint and put it into some white paint. And then what they'll do is they'll get a half a cup of some kind of Metallica silver paint and put that in there. And they'll put a couple of teaspoons of that glitter in there. That's what they'll do. That's a digital and crystal screen paint mix right there. We don't make that stuff anymore. It's the reason why we don't make it anymore. Yeah, that's how they make it. You know, the sad part about it is, and truthfully, and even I thought, until my eyes were opened up, until I actually got a chance to get a sample sheet of Black Diamond's material down there, and I saw exactly the improvements and the advancement of their screens over ours, and that's why I started developing this technology. But the only reason why we just started going into this field, because after I saw that videotape, that recording of what he was doing, I was like, oh yeah, we got to change this. So we're going to show them how you develop a gray screen, how it's done. Give the customer best, better product. Why do you think they're not doing the challenge anymore with Partay's mess? Man, we made Partay's paint way back in 2019. They're doing this challenge now. I was saying, oh, free paint. We made his product back in 2019, a year before they posted their challenge. We're always ahead. Made the product back in 2019, showed the video where the paint was coming up too dark against the 8, and then matched the video to the video they did in 2020. It had the same results. Came up too dark, came up dirty. Then went upstairs and painted my screen on the wall and produced a snow white skin tone of a black screen. They're way ahead of you guys. You guys are just too far behind. And like I said, you're looking at the technology we have now. You don't know about the stuff we're working on, but you have no idea. It's far more advanced than this. You only can see what we allow you to see. That's all. You had no idea we were going to develop a gray screen paint. Nobody did. Or if we had the capabilities. Of course we got the capabilities. That's the first screen I started off with. I would think the one screen that I did master would be the one screen I would design. All right, let's pull this one out right now. And let me show you something interesting about this technology, which you're going to find pretty cool. Well, yeah, it would be called technology when you got a screen that can take a direct hit from the sun. Yeah, that would be technology. The fact that it hasn't been matched, I don't know why. Well, I know why. I know they're taking their screens outside and testing. I know what's happening to them. The screens are getting wiped out. Sun's killing them. Ugh. Here we have in the same demonstration, so I can show you what technology looks like. This is Crow's Personal Mix, marked, and this is Crow's UV Mix. Let's see how it reacts to that technology. If you notice, his screen is much lighter, right? As you can see, it's much lighter, right? I'm going to show you something. Crow boys, take a front seat. You're going to enjoy this one. This is why I was going to show you what's going to obsolete your product. All of them. When the screen reaches 100%, and mind you, it's only at about 2% done at the most. 2%. That's it. When it reaches 100%, you might as well just take your products and throw them in the trash, because that's where they're going. Nobody will buy them. Nobody. That's the whole purpose of when I developed this, was to obsolete your stuff. Get rid of it. So let's see what happens. We have more Crow Boys in this in here. Don't worry, I'm not going to ban you. I want you to watch. And keep in mind, if we tried to buy his product right now for review, this is the funny part, like the most. Keep in mind, people. Think about this. Now, he reviews our products, right? Tries to review our products, right? but he doesn't want anybody reviewing his product, and that's why the orders were canceled. Isn't it interesting that you want to review other people's products, but you will cancel orders from other people trying to buy your product to do a review? So let me get this straight. Only he can do reviews against yours, but you can't do against his. Maybe it's because the environment is going to be, what's the word for it? Different than what he's used to having the screen center in a comfortable environment. That's why I can walk through my entire house and all my screens can activate. I got screens here that are run at 12 o'clock in the afternoon set in Windows. I don't see any else demonstrations like that. Demonstrations are usually in the dark, right? So let's show you something interesting. Ooh, wait a minute. That's what my screen does with UV mix. I want to show you something even more impressive. White Snowstorm 4K.
Getting that from YouTube.
Watch Girl Boys. You're going to see something pretty interesting. My screen, Crow's screen, is actually much lighter than mine. And my screen is producing such a high white level, that's why it's called ultra bright, that it's actually blending into his screen. But let me show you the fun part right here. Boom. Look at the color of my screen. I stand in front of it. Do you see how much lighter his screen is to mine? So how is it possible that his screen is a few shades much lighter than my screen, and yet I can pull white level high enough to blend into his? Boy, you guys never learn. This is what you call technology. Let's have a look. Maybe. Isn't that interesting? How black screens over here have the ability to blend into gray screens, which we could do that with this all day long. And that. How blue technology can show a blue layer on the surface, but produce some of the beautiful, most brightest colors you've ever seen. What about the what do you call the black silvers that can produce a contrast right next to a black screen? You couldn't tell one from the other. But how do you explain this? See the color of my screen? Wouldn't you think that the pull a higher white level? Oh, Pro Boys are leaving the room now. Again, as I said before, your gray screen paints are now obsolete. And I'll tell you why. Because you see how dark that screen is right there? That means that any screen, excuse me, goodbye, Crow. That means that any screen, Crow just popped in here, any screen that's slightly darker, mind you, out of this UV mix, I think this would be his brightest screen paint. So that means any screen that would be slightly darker than that would have that result right there. And any screen that would be too dark would come out like that. So where do you go? Unless you're going to develop a white screen. So that means any gray screen paint, not just his, any gray screen paint that is that light or lighter, it's still going to come out. A screen's still going to generate a high enough white level to blend into it. And if your screen is one shade darker than that, then it's going to have those results, which means your technology is obsolete. And that screen is nowhere near the color of any of the screens. So feel free to explain it at the bottom of the comment on how it's done. Well, you can't, can you? No, I should go down mine. How can you do that? How can you do that? Let's take cinema gray. A professional certified screen. Like I said, we don't get any credibility from these guys. This is just basically there's a cinema gray right there. That's lighter than my screen. That's an elite screen right there. Let's try a Seymour 80 1.3. Much lighter than my screen. Look at that. All those screens are my screen, and yet I'm generating a high enough white level to be able to come close or even blend the screens. Again, as I said before, your stuff is obsolete. And I got companies already involved in, and basically it's going to be getting rid of a lot of these gray screens that have to go. This is, come on, really? Highest white screen is white. And this, keep in mind, this white sheet of paper, being as white as it is, should turn everything that color right there. So you have to understand, it's not about the views. You have to understand, this is documentation, which means everything we do has to be done recorded live, showing proof that the technology does work. It's not about the views, it's not about the likes. Y'all missing the big picture here. It's about corporate and companies. Check out these videos. We have demonstrations that we do set aside already for companies that are emailed to them and say, look, we got this technology we developed. This is what it does to these screens. This is what it does to the competition. They don't care about the views. They don't care about the likes. They don't care about the comments. They care about what the performance of the technology is doing. That's all they care about at the end of the day. They couldn't care less about how many people in the room viewing. And on my end, I said, happy to have you here, but to tell you the truth, at the end of the day, it's just to document the technology's capability. That's what it comes down to. We never came on YouTube for views and all that. We came on it for that. It was just basically to advertise and document our technology. Because no one in their right mind would ever believe that if I said, hey, look, I got this jet black screen, we can take a gray screen, we can blend it in. I have a blue screen that can produce colors. I got this new high-tech gray screen that we can pull white level literally so high that we can actually take out other screens that are shaded like shade. And no one's going to believe that. Oh, we have a screen right now that can take a direct hit from the sun. How many people are going to honestly believe, without video documents showing that actually happened, that I had a screen that can take a direct hit from the sun? Nobody. There you go. That's why. So let's see if the white turns my screen so dark like the UV mix. Oh, it doesn't. And as I said before, when it comes to a white screen, nothing will ever beat a white screen, because the white screen is the only screen that can produce a 100% white level. Like black technology is the only one that can produce a 100% contrast level. Let me show you something they can't do. I can come in here with all the window light, and I can pop my projector on, ultra strip through. I can fire my projectors up and walk around the house. I can't do that. That's a blue screen, baby. Yes. Boom. And it's at 1% or 2% or something there. Want to see something more interesting? You see that dark gray screen over there? That has the same technology in it, but it's a darker version of it. Watch this. Stay. Good. See how dark that screen is? See how white the levels are on that screen? dark screen versus dark screen. And let's see which one pulls up the higher white levels. My dark screen versus dark screen. Ours does. Because that's everyday paint. That's all it is. It's interesting. Like I said, it is what it is. People want to challenge our technology, but at the end of the day, when we show them what this stuff can do, now they're quiet. I don't hear any crow boys in here running their mouths. I don't hear them talking or chatting about this, that, and the other. I just showed you in a video where your buddy was making your product from Home Depot and Lowe's. Then I came in here and I basically produced an image on our high-tech, great technology that only produced a white level literally so high, it blended his screen, and his screen is much lighter than mine, including all the other screens that are lined up against here. We're going to obsolete this stuff soon. Don't worry about it. When that screen reaches 100%, you're going to see something you've never even seen before. You're just witnessing that 1%. That's it. One or two, one or the other. But still, it's nowhere near complete. The technology was developed 2 days ago. A day ago. It was developed a day ago. Yeah, a day ago it was developed. It hasn't even gone through any of the testing yet. It is nowhere near completion. This is a raw element right here. Not even done yet. And look what it's doing already. Yeah, your stuff is obsolete. The bottom line is, you know, when y'all want to keep coming at our black screens and our black technology being too dark and being too other, all right, no problem. You want to slander our technology, okay? So what we'll do is we'll jump in your backyard. We'll take your technology or whatever great stuff you sell, and we'll make it 10 times better, and we'll obsolete your stuff, which we just did. I told you it was going to happen. I sat there and told you that I can turn around, I can take anything and just obsolete your stuff. Oh well, goodbye to the gray screens. This is the new stuff now. That's why it has the name Ultra Bright. That's where I got its nickname from, because it produces a very high white level. Yeah. I see even this right here. Seymour 81.3. I were to put that against your product that you claimed you beat that screen. You didn't beat that screen. So in the world, you beat a Seymour. You beat a Seymour 81.3. That screen has an insane white level. There's no way you beat that screen. That's that screen laying against your personal mix. That's not how you didn't beat it. I'm going to take your product and I'm going to test it against all these high performance screens, all the ones you claim that you test, and we're going to do the demonstrations right over here. No dim lighting, none of that nonsense. We're going to do it right over here. I want to see how many screens you faked the demonstration on, because right here, that's a Seymour AV 1.3. That's the white level on that screen versus your personal mix right there. So I know something on there. So I know you faked that demonstration too. You probably come better, closer to matching this. Probably a little closer to matching this. This is a cinema gray. Nope. Nope. You don't even match the cinema gray either, so you faked that one too. Nope. There is no technology behind a black and white screen paint mix. It's just black and white paint. That's it. If there was any technology behind just simple black and white, you wouldn't have big companies like DMP Supernova or Screen Innovation. None of it even exists to begin with, because anyone can literally get the same performance that they're producing in their screens or I'm producing in my screens if they're just using everyday black and white paint. Now, if my technology was the same color as yours and I was producing the same image, then that would put me in the category of maybe my screen was made out of black and white paint. But my screen in no way whatsoever is the same color as yours, and I'm still producing a high enough white level to blend into your screen. So that shows me that my stuff is more advanced than yours, and it isn't what you think it is. Yours is just everyday black and white paint. That's it. That's why I can blend it so fast. There's nothing behind it, that's all. So like I said, at the end of the day, Coach Boy should be upset, but it is what it is. You just paid $104 for black and white paint. That's what you paid for. There's no difference in it at all. He can't show you there's anything different in it. If there's anything different in it at all, I'll give you a challenge right here, simply. Have him go out and take the do-it-yourself mix, which is the 2 tablespoons of black into white. Have him go take his personal mix and all his other screen paints and match it against that cinnamon mix and see what happens. See how they react. I bet you they react all the same way. Because if they didn't, he wouldn't have deleted the video. That's all to it. That's all. It's a shame I got to come on here and I got to school these boys that come on here every single time. This is why sometimes I just delete the comments. But then again, I like to delete the comments because I got people on here to talk about some really nice stuff. Fellow came on here. He's building a retro gaming system set up, I think in the laundry room somewhere in the house. And he needed some help and some ideas on basically he wanted to see the stuff I have upstairs. So I helped him out with that. A few people come here asking for things like help with this, that, and the other. But I have to deal with these haters that are upset because every time I get up in the morning, I work hard from sun up to sundown, to develop nice technology for my customers, and they're jealous by it, and it upsets them. So like I said, they're the ones who started the whole slander with calling me a scammer, this, that, and the other. But yet it's funny because, for what their fellow just did, that the guy they support, Mr. Crow, he just got seen right there on video doing something that he shouldn't have been doing. And instead of him issuing an apology to his customers, he comes at us even angry. It's not my fault. All I did was just make your paint, which you showed me in the tutorial, and it just happened to match your screen paint. So, just take, you got to learn to basically, at the end of the day, if you did wrong, then you got to admit you did wrong. That's all to it. But, some people can't do that, especially when you've been ridiculing somebody for such a long time, saying that they're supposed to be this, that, and the other. But yet you matched none of my demonstrations, none of my challenges, nothing. But you're supposed to be the same as mine. And I just came out here just now and took your product and blew you out in a gray screen paint, Gray screen paint versus gray screen paint, and pulled the same white level your screen did, and my screen's not even anywhere near the color of your screen. So this is what you call hard work and technology. That right there is just paint, house paint. That's all it is. So that's what you get. Don't get mad at me over it. You need to basically just go back and work on your craft. That's what you need to do. Issue an apology to your customers for what you did, and you need to basically promise them that you're going to work harder to make a better product. And this time, show proof. Do demonstrations. Not just that high power projector and throwing it up against the wall and say, "Oh, look how beautiful it looks, how great." No, do real demonstrations. You know what I mean? Test your product. So you can show them that you're working hard to give them a better product. And so you just come out doing all these little shortcuts in the dark and doing these fake demonstrations. Because then again, somebody like me is going to get their hands on it, and we're going to bring them over here for the real deal. And then when you start canceling orders, that does not look good. It looks like you have something to hide. So, hey, let's go play with something else. Let me see. No. No survey. That's the problem. Right one? Oh. Right one, this right one. Over here. Awesome, over here, son. Perfect. Don't worry, Crow Boys. End of next year, you can go down to one of my many showrooms, which I'll be setting up all over Philadelphia, and you can go in there and watch my demonstrations in real time, in real life, which I'm actually planning to do. And we'll make sure we have a screen there just to post your comments. All right, let me see what we got going on here. What do we want to do? Let's go with clearing this out, and let's go with AK OLED demonstrations. Ooh, that's new. I haven't seen that one. Well. Tomorrow, I will begin the process of a company called NOx, I think that's what it is. We'll be testing them too. We're going against anything that's gray. That's it. See how your colors are fading out there? Oh, that did not want to stay there. Let's pause that. Can't pull contrast. That's another thing too. Because the screen basically is a bit darker than yours, it can basically pull contrast level. The problem with the other screen, like this one, the contrast level comes up too dark. It oversaturates the image. See how the colors come out dark and dirty? I might enhance the gain on this technology. I can make it much, much brighter than this. Way beyond brighter than this. So I think we're going to make another batch of it, and we have darker. We have another one that we're going to enhance the gain capability. That's what we need to do next. And see if we make it too bright, exactly how crazy we can make it. I want to see how far we can go with it. So it has room to be upgraded. It's only 1%. See, the screen, because it doesn't have a dark enough, it basically has a problem with pulling a proper beautiful color. See how your screen faded out next to this technology? So keep in mind, I can turn around and I can pull a higher white level than your screen, and my screen has the capability of pulling deeper and richer colors because it can pull contrast too. So now you're looking at a gray screen that has the ability to even darker than your screen. As you can see, of course, I'm going to pull up a much better contrast level, and I'm going to be able to pull brighter and more vivid and more colors But only that is because you think because the screen's darker, it can't pull white level. I can pull white level equal to your screen. See right there? Too much contrast. Not a perfect balance. I've got to rewind that for a minute. You know what I like about this one right here? This is what I like about it. You know, he may argue and say, well, look, my screen's doing the same thing your screen's doing. My screen is nowhere near as light as your screen. Your screen should automatically do that from the door because how light it is. My screen should not have that option to do that because it is darker than your screen. The fact that my screen is actually pulling a white level that high to be able to blend into your screen shows how impressive the white levels are on my technology compared to yours. See that right there? You should automatically be able to do that because of the color of your screen. My screen should not be able to do that. But this is what you call real technology. That I can blend your screen on every single white level. Contrast is picking up, the screen's turning gray. The screen is done. Here's a good example. See the contrast levels? Oversaturated, too dark. I could pick this up better on my black screen because my black screen can read white light. We're like, oh, that's not possible. That's why we have demonstrations of our gray screens blending into our black screens. That screen can't pick up a white level because the bottom line is it's just everyday paint. Paint does not have the ability to pick up white levels. There's no coding, no special effects, nothing in it. Is just paint. That's what it is. And this is how it's reacting. This one right here, it's not pulling any contrast at all. So that's why the image looks washed out. Even in the commercial. As I said before, the reason why I got into this field, man, because I got sick and tired of all these big companies charging people all this money, so I decided to even the playing field. Now I'm tired of all these people making these fake knockoff screens that don't do what they're supposed to do. It's a shame. So we're just going to come in and just take over this, develop a better screen paint, which it shouldn't. Why would you seriously want to spend $104 for house paint? Or you want your money's worth? It's up to you at the end of the day. It's your money. Look how bright the green levels are. Now, if my screen paint was the same color as his screen, then that's something, like I said, you can argue it. You can say, well, Ken, nah, your paint's the same color as his. That's the reason why you're bringing up the same bright level his screen's bringing up. Now, my screen's darker than his, and I'm matching the screen. Interesting, isn't it? I told you the white levels of my technology are extremely high when it comes to our black screens. There you go. That's what happens when you put crow's mix against a black screen. Because black screen's pulling 100% contrast, which means that that screen is filtering through. Even through the white levels, nothing but contrast. Contrast feeds through everything, even the white level. And it's needed to make the screen pop and stand out. Oh, you thought if I put that against my black screen was going to be as dark as a UV mix against my gray screen. No, 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 no. This is what you call technology, not house paint. House paint reacts this way. Mind you, as I said before, these screens are lighter than my black screen. And yet, I can blend any, I told you, any gray screen, the technology can blend. The white screen, we're putting to shame because the white screen doesn't have any contrast in it. And if it's not putting any contrast next to a black screen is going to fade it, even when it comes to color. All right, we'll just take that as he just quit. There you go. Let's go switch back over. That's what I'm doing. People challenge my work. Come on, don't challenge my work. Don't do that. Go back over to our gray screen now. I know my stuff. I can sit right there and outperform your screen on my black screen. I told you I could do that. I could take your purse, your high, the white is that light gray screen that you have, and throw it against my black screen. I know what's going to happen to it. My black screen is going to produce that contrast. It's going to pull through that screen, and it's going to cause your screen to fade out. And then for the UV mix, my screen will blend into that one, make that one disappear. When contrast comes on, that screen shows up because no screen is going to produce a contrast higher than a 12. Now I put you into our gray screen paint, and you see what happens. My gray screen is still darker than your screen, and I can still blend your screen, even on white levels. Okay. Just showing you right from the door, you know. Mirrors, it's hard work, that's all it is. So for any of y'all wanted me to switch over to my black screen to see what the results are going to be, there you go. I got no problem with showing that. I know what technology can do. And I know how your screens are going to react. You thought for a minute if I took the personal mix, as light as this screen is, and put it against my black screen, then my black screen was going to come up as dark as that. No. No, 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 no. Because my black screens have code in them. See, the same code that allows a blue to be able to see multiple colors on a blue surface is the same code that's embedded in 12s. So for 12s have a small amount of it. These screens right here have 100% of that code in it. So a black screen has the ability to be able to read a white level, which means if I take a screen, in contrast, if I take a screen like that, Crow's Personal Mix, and I put it against my black screen, it's going to overshadow the screen. It's going to pull contrast. It's going to make the screen fade. It's going to wash it out. Where this screen right here, it's going to blend into it. Now, if I take your screen and I put it against my gray screen paint now, look what happens to it. I can blend your gray screen, even though my screen is darker than yours, and I can turn your UV mix into a black dot. So you can see the difference between the two. There you go. But you can't do a demonstration like that. You can't show the difference between your technology or one over the other, anybody else's, because it's all the same thing. Black and white paint. Like I said, y'all can't do the job correctly, we'll do it for you. I'm happy to do it for you. I'm happy to give my customers, an amazing product. It's not going to cost them an arm and a leg. And that's the reason why when we take our technology, we put it against high performance screens. because I can show you that my screen is what the difference between my screen and a $5,000, $4,000, or $1,400 projection screen. And I'm not afraid to stick it on the black screen. Nope. I welcome that challenge any day. So it's kind of interesting. This is the interesting thing about it. This is what I'm talking about how sweet Karma is. It's interesting that we didn't have any form of gray technology. All we did was just dark screens. But it's interesting that every time we did a demonstration of darker screens where he mixed it with whatever kind of paint or whatever chemical we put it to make the screen look dark, because there's no way in the world, when I just did a demonstration right now, your personal mix faded on our screen. Our screen produced a high enough, bright enough level to overshadow your personal mix. So how is it possible if you're testing your personal mix against our black screens over where you're at and they're coming up that dark? That's how we know we're mixing with black paint. You're faking your demonstrations. You're committing fraud. Now, it's interesting what I said about Karma, because here it is now. We have a gray technology. The black silver, like I said, it's gray, but it's not as light as this screen right here. We have a gray technology now that is basically turning your UV mix into the same dark screen that you claimed our technology to be. And it's interesting. Isn't that kind of interesting? But I take his personal mix, put it against my black screen overshadows it. Produces a much more brighter, more vivid, more colorful image. And now we take your stuff and put it against our gray technology, and we can turn one screen dark and the other screen we could blend right into it, even though our screen is darker than your screen. That's interesting. Hey, Karma's something else, ain't it? And I can honestly say, yeah, that mix is dirty. Contrast level comes up so dark you can't even see detail. Oh well, you brought it on yourself. Like I said, I had no interest in developing gray screen paint technology. No interest whatsoever in it at all, period. I was happy in the dark technology we're developing, but since you felt the need to basically slander my technology, now I felt the need to redesign gray technology to make it better. And you can also complain and fight about, oh, well, the paint's $267, because that's what it's going to cost to court. And we can say, well, look, my customers rather pay that than pay $5,000 or $4,000 because we beat certified projecting screens under this technology also too. But then again, at the end of the day, they're getting real technology and they're not getting black and white house paint or primer, whatever that nonsense is over there. That's something else. Look at the skin tones on that. Look how dark my screen is to yours. I'm matching your white levels.
We made USAA for veterans like Martin. When a hailstorm hit,
So 1%, 1 or 2% doesn't make a difference. We don't need all that. Go back. 1 or 2%. That's it. Not even near 50%. But if you want, I'll buy the rest of them today, and I'll bring them over here and I'll test them against our gray screen versus your gray screen. If you basically make the sale today, but I don't think you'll make the sale. I think you'll cancel the order. You don't want your stuff coming over here, and you don't want to go against the screen. But I'm willing to buy them if you want. I'll give you $400 today. No, they're not worth $400. And for the crows, are going to sit there and say, oh, but no one will buy your, people buy my stuff every single day. All right, let me tell you that from the door, because they know my product works. Right now, I'm dealing with companies right now that are hounding me about selling out the technology. Do you have any idea the advancement of these screens in churches and schools and stuff like that? These screens can pull up bright, beautiful images in fully lit environments. The white tones are unbelievable. Something much needed in churches, especially when you're showing scripture, where you need the background to be heightened so you can see the black text. As I said before, like I said before, I've been asking people to do the demonstration, show me contrast levels. Show me what your contrast levels look like in a dark room. Show me the difference between your product and other screens. Taking demonstrations. That Ludix, whatever that screen is called. Yeah, there's a fellow on YouTube right now that's basically pretty ticked off at Crow because he faked the demonstration. He actually owns that screen. Where Crow actually turned the screen on the opposite side that's not used for projection and made the screen look darker in the demonstration, and the guy caught him on it, debunked the video. I'll put the code, matter of fact, I'll put the video link at the bottom so you can look at that. And he sits there and says, he calls him a liar and he calls him a thief, and he said he will do anything just to make his product look good. And that's the reason why he got rid of that video. Didn't want y'all to see that that's what you were buying. And the same thing goes for the big companies too. Man, come on now. Every time I watch a demonstration with these big companies, and it's always the same thing. A rehearsed script environment for the screen, over high-powered projector, way more advanced than what I'm using over here in this demonstration. And then they test it against a white screen. Like, look how amazing the difference quality between our screen and a white screen. Are you kidding me? Like I said, I could go to Home Depot right now and get gray primer and just throw it against the screen, and I still would come out more advanced than the gray screen, even than the white screen. It's not something you should test. And there should be, when you're doing demonstrations, should be testing their screens against other gray screens to see which one produces the higher white levels, which one produces the better contrast. That's what they should be doing. So imagine if one day, if all white screens went obsolete, they don't even exist anymore. Then what are you going to test your stuff against? You're going to test your stuff against gray screens. So I don't base my product off a white screen. I base my product off their technology. That's what I do. I take their gray screens and I put it against my technology. This right here is being done, like I said, at the end of the day, this is just to tell Mr. Crow to stay in his lane. But also too, that I don't like the fact that how he was doing that mixture like that, and how he was basically selling it, making money off that, when he basically just selling people black and white paint. So like I said, we'll throw a hat in the ring, we'll make our own. To argue against the screen and see what happens. They'll come and go, well, you know, my screen's doing pretty good because it's matching your screen. It's not matching my screen. My screen is darker than your screen, and I'm actually blending your screen. Like I said, it'd be different if my screen was the same color as his. Then you can automatically say, "Well, yeah, look how light your screen is." It'd easy be to blend that. Okay. Here we on the snow scene. And now to be about done, here's the dark version of the technology. This is the dark version that we're going to add in the, we're going to add this into the shopping cart as a free option for our customers. Because there's no use in charging you for it. No point in charging you at all for it, you know what I mean? So we're just going to add that in free. When paint finally is ready to launch, we'll add that in there. So when you go to the shopping cart, you'll get an option that'll pop up and it'll ask you what color you want. So you have that as a free option, whether you want it in the lighter version or you want it in the darker version. Now I'll show you the white levels on the darker version too. Okay. Matter of fact, let's just leave that there. I don't really give a rest. Give a Jerry's Ghost. That is the darker version of it. That's darker, but the white levels were heightened. Now I'll step in front of that and I'll show you how dark that screen is. So let's do something crazy here. Let's take this out, all right? Let's take his personal mix and let's stick it against. Now this should come out a little brighter than the dark version of our technology. It should come out a little dark. It should come out a little brighter. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Yeah, we heightened the technology. I forgot about that part. So now look at it. So now we got a darker version of the technology against your UV mix. And it is producing a white level. And also causing your screen to fade out at the same time. Now that particular option will be a free option. Kind of like we're giving it to you for free. I mean, you're still paying for it. We could charge you more for it if we wanted to, but we're not going to do that. We're basically just going to give it to you as a free option. So there you see. This version right here is a darker version of the technology, which pulls in a much higher contrast level, and the white levels are extremely good. Even high enough to be able to blend this screen right here, which is actually far more lighter than my darker version of it. We don't have a name for it. It was, now keep in mind that one was altered and made. When did we make that? Yesterday. It was altered and made yesterday. Oh, I just doesn't like to be up there. Like really doesn't like to be up there. You know, up there, man. Okay. Seymour AV 1.3 and Cinema. That is the Cinema Gray by Elite Screens, and that's the Seymour AV 1.3. So we can show you that we don't have to just test it on his product. We can test any one of the other screens. So what I did was I got all the light gray screens that I have in my drawer, kitchen drawer, and put all those against the technology. Because at the end of the day, he's going to chalk it up to him being bullied. That's where he's going to go. Oh, he's bullying me. He's so and so and so. If you can't take a review, you got a problem. If you can't take a review, stop snowflaking. That's why I said he goes into this whole panic about how we're bullying him, we're messing with him. Man, look, if you're going to do reviews against other people's stuff and you're not going to do fair reviews, then I'm going to come over here and do a fair review and show you how it's supposed to be done. I don't want to hear any whining and crying about how you're being bullied and how we're messing with you, this, that, and the other. Cut it out. You do enough reviews against our stuff to choke a horse. So when we do it against you, you start whining and crying about how you're being bullied. Grow up. Like I said, if you want to cancel our orders, and we can't do, I can go to any one of these companies and I can get a sample of their technology. They don't cancel our orders. If we try to order from him, automatic cancellation right from the door. So if you don't want anyone testing or any demonstrations against your stuff, then don't do any more reviews against nobody's stuff. So we're going to go into a snowflake mode. Here we go. I don't know where this screen falls in because I don't know. I'm just put it up there anyway. So that right there is the Parallax. That's a great version of the screen. Put that over here. We got to test our stuff against everybody. So as you can see, we got high performance projection screens up here. We got screen paints up here. And the reason why his is up there, because we know sooner or later when this stuff launches, one of his crows are going to come in and buy the product and take it over there. I mean, we're not worried about it because this stuff is going to have so much heavy paperwork on it. It's not going to be funny. So if he messes up or sneezes the wrong way, then he's going to have some serious problems. But other than that, he can do a side-by-side demonstration. We don't care. As long as he does it respectfully and does it by the book and don't taint it or mix anything in it. But we have these results ahead of time. But this is how they're supposed to be testing their product, and this is what they don't like. Because I'm showing you something that they don't do in their demonstrations. That's why they're upset. That's why they're angry. Because now they got to work a little harder. You should want to do the beginning. You should see, we want to see exactly how your technology stacks up against the more advanced projection screens on the market. And just to show you how much lighter these screens are than mine. The only screen that's darker than mine would be this one in the middle, which would be the UV mix. Now, let's remove the UV mix off here. Take our white sheet of paper, stick it in the screen. So now we have all light gray screens and white screens leaning against my technology, which is much more darker. And this is how I got the name Ultra Bright. Yep. Now this is what you should be seeing when it comes to screen paints. There you go. How does your screen measure up to everybody else's? Pretty much helps to have your screen be the opposite color as everybody else when you're doing these demonstrations. That's what's important. What some people do is they try to make something that will match that particular product that they're testing again as close as possible so they can say that, look, I have an identical match to this product. No, when you do a gray screen demonstration, your screen is supposed to be the opposite of everything you're actually displaying. So this is why my screen is a more of a darker gray, and it's basically screens are actually lighter than my screen to show you how high my white levels can come to a screen that is lighter than the screen itself. That's how you're supposed to do these demonstrations. If people are doing demonstrations where they're taking gray screens and they're actually picking out their samples on high-end screens, is I'm gonna get this one because this comes close enough to my screen, so in the demonstration I can show I can match this. You're not supposed to do that. So each one of those screens is a different shade of gray, and our screen being the darkest. That's how you're supposed to do your demonstrations. Look at your charger. Charger! We say.
We see all you do to get work done, whether it's keeping your office clean or redesigning your space for 300. Our business is to keep business going. Buy online, pick up in store, or get free next business day ship at Office Depot Office Max at OfficeDepot.com.
Let me get my charger for this.
My name is Danielle Rosenblatt, and I'm a driver assist technology engineer for it.
Yeah, I hate bringing up them videos, I tell you I do, but I had to. Because when you got idiots like that, and I hate to call people idiots, when you got people like that that come into my channel, and their intentions are just to do dumb stuff, they have to be schooled. They have to be educated. So, once all that goes through, and I show them exactly how it's done, that's the end of the conversation right there. They got nothing to add to the table. Can't call me a scammer when your buddy was right there showing a video of making a product that we just made and then deleted the video. Got rid of the video. That doesn't say guilty. I don't know what doesn't. None of our challenges being met. And yet they want to give us a challenge on some free screen paint. And we did that back in 2019. And then took the video from 2019 and matched it to the video they had in 2020, showing it's the same dirty product. I love doing this. Block my projector. See how dark my screen is compared to theirs. I'll tell you one thing. Played a little bit of that game, the Cyberpunk 2077. I'm not a fan. I'm not liking it. I think for me, it's that questionnaire. Kind of questionnaire on every freaking thing. I'm not used to it. I thought this was going to be like Grand Theft Auto. We just get in there and just cause mayhem and destruction. But that questionnaire thing, I'm going to give it a chance. But I'm not having any glitches. I don't know everybody's, I don't know. I'm not having any glitches. My PC's underpowered. I'm not having any problems at all. I'm going to give it some time, see what happens. As you can see, let's see. Oh, by the way, that's a white sheet of paper against my screen. I need, where's that? I think it's this one right here. I'm pretty sure it is. Blending all these screens, no problem. At 1%, 2%, 1%, one of them.
Introducing Children's Robitussin Naturals. Helps relieve cough and helps with their mucus. Powered by the best of nature.
So the problem you're going to have with the gray screens is they can't pull a contrast level. They can pull white level, they just can't pull contrast. So with our technology having the ability to pull a high enough white level to blend into their screens, including snow, our screens can also pull a contrast level that their screens can't, which makes this a more superior form of gray technology. Now the white sheet of paper, when it comes to white level, it will be the more superior surface because, like I said, nothing's going to beat a white screen when it comes to a snow demonstration or any kind of white demonstration. The white screen's always going to be more superior, but when it comes to black screens pull 100% contrast where nothing's going to be able to match that because it's within its own element. And there's Crow's paint right there. As you can see, my screen is much darker than his. And the screen's producing a bit of an off-white. So let's get some contrast in here. Oh, we have such beautiful colors in here. Look at the colors in here. I'm gonna have to come back to this. I love displaying colors off this technology. Let me see. Dark screensavers.
Getting that from YouTube.
And there you go. Fade it. Fade it, fade it, fade it, fade it. Now we'll take the darker version of it that we have here. It's the more darker version of the technology, which is the free option.
We do it every night.
Run your
See
dishwasher.
how high the white levels are on the black one? Or not the black, it's not black, it's kind of it's a dark gray. Look at the white levels.
Range Rover Sport with terrain response control.
So you can see that you're not going to miss much of a contrast level with this lighter technology, and you're not going to miss much of the white levels when it comes to the darker version of that technology. Let's go with let's see. Let's go with see. Our technology can go contrast. Now it's not going to be like super crazy black, like black screens or the Platinum Eclipse. Those screens are designed for heavy contrast, so they're designed for the built for it. This technology was designed to heighten the white levels on the technology, but also to keep a nice, comfortable contrast level, as you're seeing right now. As you're seeing the droplets of water and the bottle that's faded and the colors are washed out. So it's able to maintain a contrast level to the point where the colors don't wash out and the images doesn't fade, where these screens will have a problem with that. And there you go. And a reflection of the fruit at the table. I think I'm going to put on in this video as in gray screens obsolete. White snowstorm. Screensaver.
Getting that
from YouTube.
I moved at the wrong time. There's a video right there I wanted to freaking see. All right, I'll come back to this one later. I got to come back and see that. I saw something I wanted to see. Do a demonstration on. Yeah, this product is coming up dark even on the white levels right there. Yeah, let me go back to the other video because I saw something there that I liked. Let me see. Let me clear this out and put down. What did I have in there? I think it was this one. Oh, I'll have to do this video or come out of that one. This one right here. So I'm gonna go back and do that other one. Oh yeah, what the freak? I just saw that. Hold on for a minute. These gotta come down. These are automatically from the door. They're not gonna match the screen. I'm just not gonna do it. Alright, from the demonstration that I just saw, he already knows it's not gonna match. I wanna see something. 101. I gotta see this. Oh, no, go back. I've got to see this. Karma, it's a beautiful thing. That's both of your screens. That is your UV mix and personal mix against my screen right now. My screen is pulling a higher skin tone than your screen. That is interesting. Oh, remember you did this to my screen too also. Remember that? So that's about karma. Oh, look at this. Do you see how dark you just came up on my screen? And your screen, my screen is, what color is my screen again? My screen is darker than your screen. This is what I talk about. This is what you call true technology. When you can show results like this of a screen that's darker than the screen that's actually laying against it, and the darker screen is producing a higher and brighter skin tone, you have to do this one on Facebook Live. Look at this. My screen's darker than your screen. That's what I'm like, oh, whoa, wait a minute. That is impressive. I'm happy about that. That's really happy about that. Not that it's your product. Just keep in mind that any other great screen paint, this is just based off any other great screen paint that comes in, even with a shade remotely like that, it's going to look like this against this technology. Oh man, when this screen reaches 100%, I might nickname it the Widowmaker. So that's pretty much what it's going to be. But let's see how dark your contrast levels comes up. Wow, that is, I gotta go rewind this back. That is amazing. I might be selling this to a company. I might be thinking about it. It's really freaking good. I mean, really good. This might be going to a company. I got 6 companies right now that are inquiring about this, about sale. No, truthfully, I'm gonna tell you right now, I could just basically just get contracts and just basically just develop technology for companies because they pay me a ton of money. They don't pay me like, and within a contract with the company, you know, there's a minimum. You know that, right? So within the minimum, say they got to do like 80 gallons. 80 gallons at probably about, I say about $90 a quart. That's what they would pay me. So the minimum would be 80. Or bottom line, I can do it this way. I can basically sell them the rights to manufacture and make it themselves, and they would have to pay me a percentage of whatever they make or whatever they sell. Or basically they can just give me one big huge lump sum of money and we can just go about our business and call it a day. But if I was doing it through company contracts only, that's what they would pay me. At $90 a quart, and the minimum would be around 80 gallons. And that's not considering that these guys are going to go way over 80 gallons, way over that. Because within their contracts, they're going to go out and do business with bigger companies, and those companies are going to have a minimum too. So we may design one of these for company contracts, which I'm thinking about doing. Not this, but something else we're going to be working on. I think I'm going to design it for companies. I had a customer on the phone tell me he hopes I don't retire. Because once I do retire from this, everything is going with it. I don't plan to ever make this ever again. Which is going to be good for the hobbyists because, you know, they'll be able to continue on. But if I already have enough money pulled aside where I don't have to work anymore, there's no point in me designing it anymore. Besides, I'm getting older and retirement is popping up in my head from time to time. But it's going to be no time soon because I do, like I said, before I basically go down that road, I want to see my own physical screen with my name on it. That's what I want. Well, not my name. It'll probably have some crazy name on the side of it. But I do want something like that before I go. Like something like that. A couple projection screens, something to say, hey, look, that's so-and-so and so, blah, 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 blah. That's what I want. So that's what 2021 is a big year for us because we got a lot going on in that year for stuff we're working on. That's why you're seeing all this weird technology, blue screens, all this stuff popping up because it's just stuff we're working on to start developing a more advanced technology for what we got planned. It's a big, big plan behind all of this. If I can find somebody that shares the same passion that I do, then bottom line is I would give it to them and just move on. Now see, the problem here is he's pulling the contrast level on the UV mix, but the image is coming out too dark. That's what we call oversaturation of contrast. The contrast level is too high. It's pulling the black level, but the problem is when it comes to the white levels, good gracious, really? Let me get something else. When it comes to the white levels, the screen is having a problem. Where when we showed you on our black screens upstairs, when I showed you the skin tones, the snow on the black screens, it's able to pull a beautiful, nice, natural color because this can't read a white level. That's why. That's the reason why. That's why it's coming up so dark. You're seeing the contrast pop up, but when it comes to the bright colors, it's really dark and dirty because it can't read a white level. That's why. Now, you see me do demonstrations of really? All right. I don't know. Weird. Anyway, you see me do demonstrations on my black screens. When I do demonstrations on black screens, what do? I stay away from contrast levels. I will show you snowstorms. I will show you white levels, reds, blues, greens, even skin tones to show you that the screen produces a very high white level. There's no coding in this. It's just black and white paint. That's why the contrast levels are coming out too dark, because whatever he's dropping in there, it's not producing any form of change. You're just getting this bland, dark, clouded color. Remember when I talk about the image becoming cloudy? This is what I'm talking about. Cloud in the chemical. One can produce a contrast, and the other one can produce a contrast, but the white levels are bad. Now, see, we don't have people saying, well, Ken, like I said, I don't have no problem with backing up my work, and I don't. You know me by now. Y'all should know me. Got no problem with backing up my work. I love stuff. There you go. Same video. I'll run it right back on here. I got no problem with backing up my stuff. I love doing this. Why we do so much testing. This is why testing is important. Because I already know how this stuff is going to react. So, you remember how dark this image came up on the white skin of the female, remember? And you remember how, remember how dark this one came up? So, if my technology is dark, it should come up the same color when this is displayed against it. It should come up dark where you can't see the screen, where the image comes up unwatchable. Right? Right, okay. Black screen here, black screen there. Got no problem showing you that. I love doing these demonstrations. I don't have to basically do smoke screens to make my product look good. What's wrong? Sorry about that, people. Let's hit that again. There we go. No, we don't want that. I don't know why they want me to keep trying to sign that. I don't want to sign to that. There you go. There's our black screens can pull a white level. Hey! Boom. There you go. Now once you see my image come up dark because I put a lighter screen against it. Over here, I can take this with the same image and put it over there, which is going to come up dark right there. You know why? Because black screens have codes in them to allow them to be able to read higher white levels. Now, let's take the same image and let's go over to the gray screen. There you go. Now what? How can you explain that one? We take it, we put it over to the black screen, and the black screen pulls a white level so high that it basically blends into both of these screens. It doesn't come out looking like this. And then we take it and we put it on the gray screen, which has tremendous high white. Because it's not everyday paint, people. This is real technology. This is why companies are asking for me to sell out. All right, with that being said, I hope you enjoyed the video demonstration. Our blue technology for 1 gallon is officially sold out, so that's gone. We do have the 1 quart and 2 quarts left in there for pre-orders. If you do not have a pre-order, by the time the launch date comes up, you cannot get the screen paint until after that month. As for this technology, once it's finished, all its tests and everything's done, and we feel happy enough to put a label on it, it will get a name, and bottom line, it'll be added to the pre-order list. So that's all I can tell you. Our Christmas sale will be ending on the 26th or 27th. That's the one that comes with the free 6x10 blackout cloth. As you can see, the advancements of 12 technology over anything else. We will have that. Like I said, once that sale is over, the blackout cloth will be removed. Just like I said, it's a gift from us. It's free, and you're getting a 6x10 black. Which reminds me, I got to get online and I got to order like 40 of them right now. All right, so again, hope you enjoyed the demonstration. Like I said, and these demonstrations is just basically, to prove that our technology is better, and it is. Like I said, I can go back and forth to the black screens, back and forth, and show you exactly the difference between the technologies and how our technology plays a different role when it comes to other screens that we want to go side by side. You saw it here live. So it is what it is at the end of the day. But this technology is strictly being designed to obsolete gray screens. That's what it's being designed for. For pretty much the whole projection screen with them. We got big companies like that, certified screens. They're not going to be bothered by that. But these hobbyists, these cheap screen paint mixes that they're making, and, the only company, 2 people I saw that showed an improvement was basically a guy by the fellow who made pro screens. His screen is pretty good. It's a good screen. Would it go against this? No, it's not going to stand a leg against this technology. It's just not. And I wouldn't put it against it because I'm not trying to tarnish or tear down the guy's name in any way whatsoever. As for people saying, well, what about you doing against Crow? Kind of put his hat in the ring already by doing demonstrations against their stuff and saying this stuff was better and was doing his demonstrations properly. So kind of put his hat in the ring for that one. So on all demonstrations, he will be present. All right, with that being said, gotta go, and God bless. Boom, boom, boom. That stuff is amazing. It's freaking crazy amazing. Good, great.